Welcome to episode 4 of the Buzz Addiction. We are here outside of our new hangout, Horizon Line Coffee in downtown Des Moines.
And we are here to talk about a little bit about how you market your business in Des Moines, and then maybe give some outside perspective about outside Des Moines in bigger cities, different markets, and also answer the question that we asked. We've tried out Facebook stories a little since then, and then asked a question at the end too.
Yeah, so Facebook stories. I played with it a little bit.
And been actually more paying attention to my friends on Facebook who use it, and honestly, there isn't a lot of people that use it.
There's not a lot of usage, yeah. I don't know if people, I think people know that the filters are there and they see them, and I've played with filters. They're great, they're creative.
Yep.
But no one's using it.
I think we've talked about it too, that they do have probably the best filters out of any app like that.
Yep.
But I don't know, I haven't seen any statistics on it, but I just don't, out of the whatever number of friends that I have on Facebook, I don't see the engagement or the usage of it at all.
100%. I'm still more Instagram stories, Snapchat stories. And we talked before we started today, Facebook has a challenge, and I've always kind of wondered if this would come and bite them a little bit. They've obviously got Facebook pages for businesses and celebrities and things, and they've got tools for that, but then they've got Messenger, that it's its own little app over here, and they've got Stories, which is inside the app. So where do you want me to spend my time?
Exactly. You can click on every different app for every different thing in Facebook, and how are they going to integrate that, or are they going to keep them separate? And does that hinder their usage for the Facebook stories or even Messenger in that, in that sense?
Yeah,
but,
it'll be an interesting challenge. Welcome to taping outside.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's okay. We wanted to be outside. Our focus as a company really has been, how do we help businesses grow and thrive? We're a young entrepreneurial company, and so we love supporting small businesses, and that leads us to another thing we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
What are local businesses or regional businesses doing to find their customers?
Yeah.
Right.
And how do you do it here in Des Moines, and how are other people doing it outside Des Moines or even in the state of Iowa? We were chatting about this before we started this video, that there, in different areas of the United States, even in the Midwest, certain things work in certain areas.
Yep.
I guess for a business, I mean, Facebook is the beast, the behemoth that everybody, we feel, should be using.
Yes.
But in Iowa, actually, Instagram is the second most used social network out there.
Yep.
In different states, even in the Midwest, have different apps out there.
Yep.
But what are you doing to push your business forward with using the apps that a lot of people in Iowa use?
Right. And this really, we dove into that after one of our clients asked us, should I be doing Twitter? And you and I are both huge Twitter. We're all in on Twitter.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's doesn't make sense for a lot of small businesses, because the audience from a local perspective, when we're talking here in the Midwest, just isn't there.
Yeah.
And so our answer was, you have to go where your audience is.
Correct.
And for his business, it's been Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah. And he was the first to admit that he was contemplating going to Twitter or using Twitter, and he even said, he's like, I just don't know that I have enough time. Yeah. And that's a legitimate concern for a lot of small businesses, because you are very lean. You are trying to make your time the most efficient as you can, and do you want to? Well, you don't want to waste time on something that might potentially not work for you.
Yeah, and you've got to do what's best for your business, and this particular client actually said that he has people who find his business on Instagram, and then go to Facebook and send him a message there.
To message him.
Yeah, it's Facebook. Definitely an interesting, but that's our point. You have to go where the attention is for your audience, make sure that it's easy for them to contact you.
Yep.
It is so frustrating as a consumer, forget that we do this for a living, to go to a restaurant or a store and want to send them a message later, or get information before, and you don't have a website, the URL doesn't work, it's not been updated. I recently had an experience where wanted to try a specific restaurant, so I went to their website to get their address and their hours, just to make sure I was going to be there on time before they closed. Got it, went to the location. Oh, we don't serve that food here, we serve it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, well that was 25 minutes out of my day, so we went to the new place, and they just weren't up to par, and I
Right.
wanted to send a message to the owner, just say, here was the experience we had. Email bounce back.
Yeah.
Wasn't set up.
Wasn't set up, you know. And you being from, or not from, but you've worked on the East Coast, New York
Yeah.
City. We talked about it before. That would never ever
That
happen.
would
there.
never ever fly. Like you have to be ready from day one. Website, email working, ready to respond. And as much as I don't want our clients to do it, if it means you have to have a Gmail address, have a Gmail
Have a
address.
Gmail,
Like
yeah.
do it.
Right. I mean, because that's your very first experience with that restaurant,
Right.
the new restaurant, was bad.
Right.
It was maybe awful.
It was not the best, and
Yeah.
it was made worse by the fact that I couldn't talk to you after the fact.
Right.
I think what really made me fall in love with Horizon Line here in downtown Des Moines was they had a website up months before they opened. They were creating content, building that community, because they understood the value of that.
Yeah.
And it's so important for any type of business to make sure that before you start and after you start, you've
Yeah.
been around for a while, to cultivate that audience and create that content and make sure that you're able to engage with your customers.
Right. Engaging is such a big deal for small businesses, because you only get a first chance once.
Yep.
I contacted Horizon Line to shoot this video over an Instagram direct message. They got back to me within a half an hour, and that is the engagement. That's the experience that you need to get your brand, to get your business noticed in a bigger city like Des Moines, or even a Chicago or New
Yeah,
York City.
yeah.
It's really tough out there. There are a lot of businesses that take the customer experience very seriously, so you have to do the same thing.
Yeah. I think that's our biggest lesson is making sure that, or our biggest recommendation, advice, you can have the best website and the best content,
Yep.
but it's all about that experience that your customer, your potential customer, is going to have.
Absolutely.
You have to do it. Like
Right.
you just can't.
There's no ifs, ands, buts about
Yeah.
it.
Got to do it.
Yep.
So what's our question?
We had a question.
Our question is, if you're a small business or you work in marketing, how do you go about finding your audience so that you spend the right time on the right platforms? Because we
Yeah.
can't, we're only on a couple platforms. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We've talked about Snapchat, but again, we have to create the content. It
Yeah.
has to be valuable content.
Yeah.
And we just have decided there's not value for us at this point. So
Yeah.
for you, how do you make those decisions?
How do you make those decisions, and how are you connecting with those customers? Are you seeing a lot on Facebook? Are you seeing a lot like our client,
Yeah.
who had a lot of engagement on Instagram, but then they went to Facebook to message him? We want to know. So find us on all social networks: Twitter at Ghost Sprout Media, Instagram Ghost Sprout Media, and on Facebook as well
At Ghost Sprout Media.
at Ghost Sprout Media.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.